Welcome back to the Clinical Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Earl. We're wrapping up our February series, giving you guys some encouragement and also maybe a swift kick to launch, to come to the realization that if you are capable of more and if you feel you deserve more, well, then you sometimes just need permission to go. And that is why I'm here, to give you permission to do it ethically, to do it the right way, and to give you some structure. And that's actually the topic of today's episode. So if you are enjoying your associateship, if you love your mentor and your boss, then this episode is most likely not for you. But if you feel the calling, and I do think that it's a calling, not everybody has that itch like I've been using this month. Not everybody has that itch to go open up on their own, and that's okay. But if you feel that itch and you feel that you're capable of more, then listen up. Today is for you. All right, today is for you. Today's about launching. Today is about the momentum early on. The first 90 days are crucial because most new clinic owners don't fail slowly. They fail fast, very fast inside the first 90 days. Not because they are, not because they aren't good clinicians, but because they confuse freedom with a lack of structure. And this is, if you've ever left one job or if you've already opened up on your own, and even the structure of school, maybe you're in your last year of chiro school, you have an arbitrary structure given to you from chiro school. And if you're working 9 to 5 in somebody else's clinic, Monday through Friday and every other Saturday, that's a structure that's it's externally imposed on you. So what happens when you open up on your own? You're accountable and responsible to no one except yourself. So you love this independence because there's no structure. You don't have to be anywhere. But what happens usually in the first 90 days is chaos ensues. There's no structure. It's just chaos disguised as independence. So a lot of times associates underestimate the positives of their past employer's structure and why some associates might yearn for that. They might thrive in an environment where there's structure because now all of a sudden they're in their business, and like we talked about earlier this month as well, that now you've got to make decisions without a fallback, without a fallback system. A lot of people tell me they want freedom, but they lack the ability to provide wise restraints. So ultimately, things like social media, podcasts, even the way that they consume content becomes a distraction, all in the name of marketing, clinical education, advancement, whatever you want to call it. Those become a distraction, which is why they get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. They're not sure what next steps they need to do. It's not that they're incompetent people. They're very, very smart people. This next generation of chiropractors are brilliant. But most of the launches, they fizzle because they never really spark some momentum. And I'm all about the big mo. I'm all about momentum. How can your marketing, how can your sales give your business more momentum? But if you're feeling overwhelmed, well, then you're probably doing all the wrong things in your business because you lack structure. It's not that you lack discipline, it's that you lack structure. And as I put on social media a while ago, which landed, this one absolutely landed with people. I said overwhelm it's simple. The feeling of being overwhelmed is simple. You just have too many open loops. You need to close one loop at a time. Don't take on any more responsibilities until you are closing more loops than you're opening. There you go. That's how you overcome being overwhelmed. Don't take on anything new. But structure didn't disappear when you left your job or when you left school. You just stopped borrowing someone else's. So early on, I'll tell you the things that most new grads that want to launch their business or even people that are going out on their own for the first time. They focus on all the wrong things. And you know what? I focused on some of these too. And so I can look back on my 11 years of almost 11 years of being a chiropractor and learn from my mistakes. It's one of my favorite things to share inside the coaching programs is it's not that I'm batting 1,000. Nobody is batting 1,000. Nobody's on the top of this pinnacle saying, do it exactly how I did it, and you'll be like me. Not, well, maybe people are saying that, but they're not batting 1,000. I know them. I know these guys. I know the ladies that are running these groups. They are not perfect. They are far from it. And a lot of times it's like social media. It's not real life. You don't know the scars in business that these people have because they don't show them. One of the things I wanted to do when I started my own coaching group was I wanted to share the scars that I have in business so that you can avoid them. And when something starts to smell a little fishy, I share a real life example of where I got it wrong. Because I think there's value in doing it one way to achieve a successful outcome. There's also um, there's also value in mitigating risk. And if I've done something 10 times and it hasn't worked out, I got to tell you. That is valuable information. That's what I enjoy about coaching is to help people avoid the mistakes that I made. But here's what they want to focus on. Their logo, what their clinic is going to be named, their website, the equipment, shockwave, laser, all the gadgets. Not how are they going to sell the dang thing or how are they going to market the things. The space size, the aesthetics. I'll tell you this, I started in an old phone, like a calling center for an imaging center. The ugliest walls you've ever seen, carpet. I just threw my table up in there. That's it. That's what I cared about. I just wanted my own space. And every month I did one project on the aesthetics of it. But I didn't get a business loan. I didn't do $50,000 in a build out. I did client acquisition funded build out. I focused on getting one patient. And then the next month, I used that patient's money to get a new one. You know what I mean by money? Their payment for my services. I was methodical in the way that I went about acquiring a customer and investing into my business. Never had to take a loan. But most people care about certifications, and I teach dry needling certification. I organized over 50 DNS courses. I come from the I want to be a better clinician, and so therefore I want to make myself more credible. But credible and the credentials that we as seminar junkies, that does not provide clarity for your business. That provides clarity in the treatment room. But you see, if we actually address the problem, the main problem is if nobody knows you exist, how can you treat them? If you're running a business, you need to get better at marketing. You need to get out of your own head. You need to get out of your own way. These feel like productivity, taking a test, getting your CSCS, going to get an acupuncture. Some states require acupuncture, so getting your certification in acupuncture, I get it. Some of those feel very productive, but they don't create business traction. They help establish buy-in with your patient in front of you, but they don't add 1 ounce of credibility that got somebody in front of you in the first place. In all the years I've been a DNS certified practitioner, 3 people have contacted me saying that they found me on the DNS website. 3 people. A decade of studying, 3 people. Let that sink in. Most new owners build the shell before they build the engine. That's why in the Innovator program, I talk about marketing as the engine of your business. Marketing is the engine. Just turn it on. Drive the business forward. Sales are the gasoline. Sales are the fuel. Keep it going. The engine keeps going. Most people care about the optics, the aesthetics, what the outside looks like. Does it have a sunroof? Does it have tinted windows? I don't care about any of that. I care about the bones. I care about the structure. I care about the engine. All right. Because the reality is, people with flashy practices are not very profitable early on. I care about coaching and guiding people to be profitable from very early on. First 90 days, very crucial. First 90 days. All right. And really, it's stunningly simple. The guidance, the advice that I give new business owners, because simplicity builds momentum. I teach this in the Innovator program. There's also a bunch of resources in the school group, but I'm not afraid to just share this stuff for free with you right now. Here's your simple formula to get momentum in your business and weed out all the noise everywhere else. Pick one clear patient avatar. Pick one clear customer profile that you enjoy working with. Create one primary offer for that ideal customer. And if you don't have some form of acquisition, some form of generating prospects to that, then you need to create one. So you have an avatar, an offer, a channel. You need an acquisition channel. Some people say funnel. That's fine. I talk about the bow tie. Again, I'm kind of dropping some hints, not on purpose, but for the Innovator program. I view not the giant funnel where it tapers off into one thing, but I view a left to right funnel. So it's called the bow tie analogy. So left of funnel versus right of funnel. Again, I can unpack that on a future episode if you'd like, but you need one. You need one marketing acquisition channel or funnel that attracts a new customer. Just one. You need one follow-up system. You don't need to make it complex. It could just be your follow-up system could be every Thursday, because I encourage people to reach out to people on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Not on Monday. Why not on Monday? Because if you're trying to get people to come in this week, they've already got their week blocked. But if you get ahead of the weekend busyness, and on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, you start planning ahead for next week, you'll start to see people are more available. Also, I don't take calls the same day. I plan ahead. Momentum comes from doing fewer things relentlessly well. I'm sure you guys have heard Hormozi talk about this, where most of us are stretched super thin. We're an inch deep, but a mile wide. Okay, cut the fat. Cut the complexity out. I had a really close friend one time tell me, "You're doing a lot of things mediocrely well." Okay, so what did I do? I received his input. I made a change. The first place I made a change was on my schedule. Here's non-negotiables for me. This is the structure I give clients. I need to abide by the same structure. Then I just hedgehog concept just went down, focused, and worked on those things as a priority. And I said no for 6 months. I said no to any new opportunity or offer that came my way for 6 months. And yes, I turned down some significant sponsorships and partnerships. But that created momentum for my coaching business and my education business and patients. Those are my 3 revenue streams at the moment. I hope this is helpful. I'll say that again. Momentum comes from doing fewer things relentlessly well. All right. Here's another thing we need to think about is a mental shift that is vital to your survival. New owners stay trapped in the clinic mentality, meaning I'll just stay here. I've got a safe place. You know what I mean by safe place. I don't necessarily want to go out in the community. And I challenged someone in our new Chiro group a long time ago. I'm gonna just name her right here, Brittany. I said, if you don't like the number of patients on your schedule, or even better, if you don't like the amount of money in your bank account, and you want to do business owner things, and you want to hire people, you want to invest into software, you want to do other things, but you don't have the money to do that because you can't reinvest into your business with $10. I guess you can, but it's just going to be very low. If you don't like that number, not because you're chasing money, but because you're chasing leverage, you're chasing freedom, then you need to do things that you're probably uncomfortable doing. So I challenged her and said, before you leave to go home, if you don't like the number of patients that you saw that day, do not leave the business and then exit the business and then go home. Go walk into 3 businesses before you go home. And in a month, I guarantee you, you will like how many patients are on your schedule. And it was uncomfortable for her. But she went from an associate to a business owner. So therefore, her mindset had to go from an associate to a business owner. Not what do I want to do, but what does the business need? Learn to think in what the business's needs are and how you as a vessel can accomplish those things. Clinicians fix problems. Owners design the environments by where problems stop appearing and repeating. So for Brittany, now she loves walking into businesses. That's one of her best patient acquisition channels. Walking into business. When everybody wants to do things digital, she went physical. She walked right into businesses. Huge, huge accomplishment for her inside of 1 year of owning her business. That's a part of her marketing channel right now. And it's stunningly simple. So if you've listened to this month's episodes, here's the pattern. You're not stuck. You're not underpaid. You're not unconfident. You simply lack structure. But I have good news for you. Structure is learnable. Inside the Midwest Academy on School, I lay out the exact frameworks associates need to think clearly, plan intelligently, and launch their business, again, within 7 days or less, without chaos, long before they ever graduate from chiro school or before you ever quit your job. The first 90 days don't test your talent or your clinical skills. They test your preparation. I'll throw this in as well at the end here. If you would like to join the school group, you can either comment on my Instagram. I'll throw in one thing that I give new chiro members, which is a marketing checklist. I'll give you two things, actually. The first is a launch checklist from A to Z. Here's everything you need. I'll even personalize it. So I'll figure out what state you want to practice in. I'll personalize a checklist for you, and I'll build a roadmap absolutely free. All right, absolutely free. Just send me an email, admin@mwri.co, and say launch checklist. Put that in the subject line, and I'll be in touch. If you already have a business formed and now you just need marketing structure, then shoot me an email or shoot me a DM on Instagram and just say marketing checklist. The checklist is what I give to paying customers, but I'm willing to give that for free this month out for the next 30 days. So from now until the end of March, let's say, I'm willing to give that out to anyone that would use it. It's a week by week outline of what to do every day for a month. And then there's included in there is some analysis. You got to look at what you were doing, right? And so then you can rinse and repeat it if you want. Okay. That is my gift to you. For if you've listened to episode 1, remember if I go all the way back, episode 1 this month, where I talked about, well, actually, you possibly could be dealing with some type of identity conflict where you feel called and you feel capable of more. That was 3 episodes ago. And then 2 episodes ago, I talked about, well, you need to face the economic realities of being an associate. The economic reality. Then last week, I talked about the psychological barrier, the fear associated with being a business owner, which is why a lot of people stay where they're at. They're afraid, but are they afraid for the right things? I would argue no. If you didn't listen to that one last week, go listen to it. And so today, I'm putting in an actual solution. So if you follow the framework for the podcast this month, there was problem, 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 solution. What's the solution? If you want to launch out of school or out of an associate position, you need structure. How do I provide structure? Well, here's how to launch your business in 7 days or less. Here's a checklist for that. If you have launched your business and you need help with marketing to get momentum, here you go. Here's a marketing checklist. Structure. I'm giving you structure for free. Will you take me up on it? All right. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Actually, I hope you enjoyed this whole month. I give you permission to be successful. Now go out and do big things. Appreciate you guys. See you next week. Bye.